Welcome to Up Night. I'm Tony.
I'm Borden.
I'm sure that sounds great on the video.
It sounds utterly terrible.
Yeah,
most
I'm sure
likely.
that sounds fucking great.
You just got ear raped.
Ooh. Did you like it?
No.
No. I'm gonna start the video off just with like this because it's something that I want to throw in there right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we got some sad news this week. Anton Yelchin, the actor who played Chekhov in the current Star Trek movies, like the newer ones, he did unfortunately pass away earlier this week. I think it was.
Yeah, car accident.
He was in a car accident. I mean, it's terrible because he was only like, I think he's like my age.
He was 27.
Yeah, he's like a year younger than me. Yeah, so I mean, that's really terrible. And I mean, I really think that guy had a really cool career coming. Like you were.
Yeah. You know what?
Earlier, and
it's interesting.
First of all, he's great in Star Trek. I mean, those movies are awesome. And
he was in Terminator Salvation, and I saw him in there originally, and I couldn't remember. Like he's so memorable.
I remembered him too. I remembered him being really good in Star Trek, and like I said, I always did expect like good things to come from him. So
I had high hopes.
Did they? Well, yeah. My assumption is that they finished filming Star Trek Beyond, eh?
Yeah, I'm wondering
it comes out
what
like next month. It must be. So I guess they're gonna have his stuff already in there. So I mean, I guess that's probably gonna be the last film that'll
have him in it.
That'll be releasing it, which that's pretty sad. I mean, it's good that they, I guess, have him in that film because it'll be a good kind of like tribute to him.
They're gonna. Never mind. It's unfortunate. I mean, he's one of the. You didn't really get that stride going. Like he reached.
It's very true. He's like I said. He's very young. Like I mean, he's not. He's just starting his
career. Like he could have went on easily for years.
Mm-hmm. No,
but what can you do? There's a lot of people, a lot of famous people dying this year. It's crazy. Yeah? Like we lost Muhammad Ali. We lost some wrestler. We lost two wrestlers actually, didn't we? Or one wrestler? So. I don't fucking know.
I just remember like the names of people, and especially like musicians and stuff that have
David Bowie,
like that have been dying
Prince.
This year. It's just like whoa, like this. It's like you said. I guess I don't know if it's just. I feel like this year has been more like substantial for that kind of stuff because like I've never really thought about it once where I'm like, wow, there's a lot of like really big name celebrities dying this year.
The last time I could think of anything similar to this was when Michael Jackson died. On the same like week, what's her name died? There's some female actor, and then Billy Mays died the same year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Billy Mays.
I was more concerned with Billy Mays.
Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays here. We're in the afterlife.
Oh God, that's some dark humor for you.
Want to get the sin off your clothing? Sorry. We should lighten it up. This is like yeah.
But that is sad news, obviously. So. After that, let's just roll right into
Go watch his movies. They're pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's roll right into what's going on, or what's happened this week kind of stuff. There's not a lot. I mean, there was some pretty cool stuff announced for some movies, so I think we're going to go over that. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of huge breaking news coming out, but...
we ate a whole brownie.
Oh, man.
10. That's breaking news.
Thank you, Olivia. That was so good.
That was, yeah, we didn't take Brittany.
Borden's a bad boyfriend.
He's like, Tony's like, are you going to save any? And I'm like... What if we just eat it all?
But like, what if we didn't? Okay.
Fucking Mike is like just in the wrong fucking spot.
Yeah.
There we go.
How's that? Anyway, so starting things off, let's start off with the Justice League stuff. Some pretty cool stuff got announced this week. They actually did let a bunch of press on set, so there was like a whole bunch of stuff that people got to see. They got to see them filming and. Like, one of the funniest things, like, one of my favorite things I saw so far this week was I was reading a story from one of the writers on, I think it was comicbook.com. And he was talking about how they're watching a scene, and it's like a rooftop scene with, like, Wonder Woman, Batman, Cyborg, and Flash, and they're talking to Jim Gordon on a rooftop. And, I guess they finish the scene, they talk it out with him, they get whatever information they were obviously looking for from Jim Gordon, as they do.
Probably something not that useful.
Probably. And then, like, I guess, like, after Jim Gordon, like, does something, he turns around, and, like, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg all peace, and then Flash is just left standing there, and...
He didn't get the memo?
Yeah, Jim Gordon turns around, and, like... You know how Jim Gordon usually does. It's like he usually turns around and Batman's gone. Like, but, like, I guess Flash is, like this is one of those things that they said... They said this is going to be a really good version of the Flash. Like, everyone that saw these scenes, like, were really impressed by, especially him on set. Like, apparently Flash is going to be taking over this whole movie.
He's going to Quicksilver it?
Yeah.
X-Men style?
Well, like, and yeah, he, like, apparently, like, the scene is, like, him standing there, and, like, he looks at Jim Gordon, and he's like, did they just do that to you? Did they just leave without saying goodbye? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. And he's like, all right, well, bye. And then, like, zips off the screen or something. But, like, it was one of those moments where, like, it's funny. Apparently, he's got really good, he's really good as a Flash on screen. He's going to have lots of good, like, humor. They were saying him and Cyborg have really good chemistry. Like,
that's interesting.
The scenes they saw with him and Cyborg were awesome, apparently. Like, they said, like, the chemistry between those two characters.
Because they're kind of on the younger end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But, like, I think they're going to be, yeah. And, like, apparently there is another scene. There was another one where it's, like, Batman. And it's kind of like the scene from Civil War. Where Batman kind of just shows up. What are you fucking doing? Oh. I thought you just started
I just killed a fly. Did you guys see that?
They probably didn't.
Did you guys see that?
They probably just thought you were fucking raging.
I'm fucking Karate Kid.
Catch it with some fucking things.
That fly's like wanted me to do it.
You did.
That's some morbid shit.
Apparently, there is a scene though in that they were filming, and it's like the scene from where Tony Stark goes and recruits Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's just Batman hanging out in like the Flash's apartment, and he's like, "Hey, what's a billionaire? Like, what is this billionaire doing hanging out?" I think there's some line. He's like, "What are you doing hanging out in my second favorite chair?" or something like that. And then like he basically just like shows him the clip of him in the grocery store from the Batman v Superman where he zips over and does the thing, and he's like, "No, man, that's not me. I don't even drink milk, and that's just some other really handsome Jewish kid," or something like that. Like, but like they said like. The delivery is fantastic. Like, everything about him is sounding like it's going to be great.
I'm just concerned that I hope people don't complain that that's too much of a knockoff of Civil War scene. You know,
but I mean,
if they do it right,
the complaint that people had was like,
it's not enough. Like,
it's not funny enough. It's not like lighthearted enough. It's too dark. And like they said that, like I've heard from like every fucking person that's like involved in this movie, the director, Batman, fucking Flash, like everyone says they're injecting more lightheartedness in this film. As I think it's just naturally going to come with his character and like Cyborg and stuff, because I think you're gonna have characters like Batman who's still gonna be fucking Batman. That's
the humor though, that Batman is serious and he's always cold, and everyone around him's kind of like joking, and he's got to go with it.
I think I can understand where that kind of falls flatter when it comes to Superman and Batman, because both those characters are very serious. Like Superman is kind of like it's
for America.
Yeah, it's always funnier in the Justice League when those characters are around the other characters like Flash. And
even Green Lantern's kind of comedic too.
Even the Green Lantern and stuff like that. But like I think Cyborg and Flash are going to kind of be that like offset where like they're going to be the funnier ones. They're going to be, and like it's going to be funnier in turn with Batman and Superman like later on. I don't even know if Superman's going to be in this movie. They haven't announced anything about him being in this movie, I think, yet. I think he's going to be in it, but I don't know if he's going to be in it till the very end. I have a feeling he's not going to be around for the whole movie, because like it sounds like everything we've heard from descriptions, it sounds like it's Batman and Wonder Woman recruiting for Justice League after Superman's death.
That'd be really cool.
So I'd be really cool with that, especially if he doesn't come back to like maybe the end of the film, and then we have him for part 2, which is them fighting Darkseid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which you could talk about that.
I can actually. So yes. So other things that we learned about Justice League this week, which is really cool. We learned Willem Dafoe's character. He's going to be playing a character named Vulko. Now, from what I've gathered online, he is going to be a supporting character for Aquaman. Apparently, he is a
Alfred.
He's Aquaman's Alfred.
He's Aqua Alfred.
More so, he's more of like an advisor / like dignitary in Atlantis. But he sounds like he's going to be playing like a good guy. He is definitely playing a good guy, because I mean there was a lot of speculation because it's fucking
William Defoe
that he's going to be playing a bad guy. But no, he's actually playing a good guy. They also announced that it's not going to be in 2 parts anymore, because it was originally going to be like split into 2 parts. Whereas now I think it's just going to have like...
They said the same thing with Batman v Superman.
Did they?
Yeah. There was supposed to be originally 2 parts. It was supposed to be like Batman...
Oh, it was supposed to be like Batman v Superman.
Which is like, why even announce it? Just wait.
And then Batman v Superman, I can't remember what it was.
Wait till you figure it out. They're always like, there's no way we can fit this into 1 movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we fit it into 1 movie.
We did it.
We did it.
We did see the logo actually, which is really cool because the logo.
The first thing I said when you showed me was like, I'm like, it looks like the Justice League
cartoon.
Unlimited.
Yeah, it looks like the Unlimited cartoon almost logo. And like, how cool would it be if at the end of the movie or at some point in the movie, there's all of them walking
silhouette, a dark
silhouettes of them, and
yeah,
guitar wailing and stuff. Oh my god, that'd be fucking great. Oh yeah, they also announced the villain. That was the other big thing.
Yes.
The villain for this movie is
which isn't Darkseid.
Isn't Darkseid. That's a big thing. They did announce it's going to be Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is... Okay, what was it? It's Darkseid's uncle. Which is... It sounds lame.
He was discount, okay?
I think it's more so the fact that, like, it makes sense when I think about what the way the storyline's going to basically lay out. He is essentially... Because I've seen the character when I looked in the... when I saw him in the pictures and stuff like that, I realized who he was. He's essentially one of Darkseid's most, like, trusted, like, lieutenants. So I have a feeling basically what's going on. And, like, if you've seen the extra scenes they've released so far for Batman v Superman, they actually showed him in a scene with Lex when he's in the ship and he's talking to this entity and it looks like this, like, weird, like, horned thing. That was him, apparently. Or at least it was some sort of visage of him. Now, that being said, like, I think it's just basically a lead up to Darkseid, which is... Like, I'm not sure if that's going to piss off fans or not, but, like, I have a feeling like they didn't want to essentially blow their wad with Darkseid right away. I think they wanted to have these characters come together to face off against something that's kind of strong and powerful, but not necessarily the big bad guy that is Darkseid.
Yeah, that, and it's not too concerning. I mean, as long as you get the heroes right, I don't think audiences really care about villains too much. As long as it gives them an opposing force they can fight against.
Someone for them to fight, essentially.
Yeah, and that's always been the case.
And look at this. Like, I mean, really, Loki wasn't that big a character until Avengers. Mm-hmm. We never really cared much about Loki before. Like, I mean, he was in Thor, but, like...
You never heard about him.
No, exactly. It wasn't until Avengers that people were like, holy shit, this is... Like,
we need more of him.
I don't know who's playing Steppenwolf. I'm not sure if the actor has been announced yet. But I don't think it was. I think I remember reading into it to see who it was. I mean, for all we know, this character could end up being like another Loki.
Very likable character.
Where it's like, oh, okay, here's a villain that we can actually like kind of get behind. Not get behind, but like we actually liked. And then, okay, like, yeah, he's someone for the characters to fight against. And then in the second movie, we get into the bigger villain who is Darkseid. Which makes me excited. Like I said, it makes me very, very excited. Few other things. I think that's pretty much it for... Was that it for Justice League? I can't remember. I don't think there was anything else.
No, on a related note, though, DC's other TV series.
Oh, yeah.
We got news for them.
So, yes, there is some cool stuff coming for the DC TV series stuff this fall. So, as a bit of a spoiler for what happens at the end of the last season of Flash, if you haven't seen it and you plan on watching it, spoilers...
He joins the Justice League. No, I'm joking.
No, essentially, I'm not going to give away what happens essentially for the other stuff that happens in that season, but essentially the last, like, 2 minutes of the final episode of last season was Barry essentially being like, I'm going to fix this. This is, like, I can't deal with this anymore kind of thing. Because he when he's in the time, or when he's in a Speed Force, at one point he sees his mother die again. And it kind of, like...
He's like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to have been, like the whole thing was, like, midway through the season, he was kind of, like, supposed to be past that, and, like, he got to, because in the previous seasons, he had tried to go back and save his mother, and it didn't work and stuff like that, right? Whereas this time...
It's because he's doing it wrong.
Yeah, he did it wrong. But this time, he actually goes back at the very end of the season, like, the very last minute of the episode, he dashes back in time, and he saves his mother. And people are like, holy fuck, is this going to be what we think it is? And they've announced that the first episode of next season, title, is Flashpoint.
Flashpoint Paradox.
Fuck yes. Oh my god.
Such a good comic book. If you haven't seen the animated movie...
Oh my god, yeah. If you haven't seen Flashpoint...
The animated movie is great.
I'm wondering what they're going to bring in for Flashpoint. Like, I wonder what kind of stuff...
Ben Affleck in a bat suit.
No, it's not going to be Ben Affleck. It's going to be... You know who they wanted to play him?
Who?
Because you know how it's like Thomas Wayne, right? In the Flashpoint thing. They wanted, what's his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan or whatever? The guy that plays John Winchester. They're like, he could be fucking... he could be Thomas
That'd be
Wayne.
Awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Be the Dark Batman.
Be Dark Batman, fucking drinking and
shooting people. Not taking Harley Quinn's shit.
Oh, yeah, and fucking dropping people off rooftops. That was awesome. But like the other things they could like even talk like because I mean the biggest things in the Flashpoint were like the fact that there's Batman's different. Superman doesn't technically exist. Like he was in a fucking government facility his whole life, so he's all scrawny and like weak. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about what they could do with like the other characters because like I have a feeling it's gonna cross over to the other universes. We were talking about, and you brought this up. Like we wonder if it's going to
fix the Supergirl coming to CW. Yeah. I think that'd be the case.
I kind of agree. I think it might like because like we know that
it'll stabilize those stories
in a parallel universe, and I wonder if it's going to like maybe align those universes up so that she can interact with those other characters on a regular basis. Because they did say the first chunk, I think, of this season was going to be a crossover event for all 4 shows, for Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. I mean, and even like they were talking to Stephen Amell from Arrow, and they were saying like he's like, yeah, it'll probably have effects on Arrow, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna cross over, obviously.
It's so predictable when it comes to TV series because it's like they're looking for ideas like that. They need.
But I mean, how cool is it that they're covering Flashpoint? You know what I mean? Like, how cool is it that the TV series?
Well, it won't be it'll be a very long time before we even hear about a real life action movie.
Fair, that's fair. I mean,
so it's good that it's represented.
I'm very cool about. Like I said, I'm very cool with that. The other thing that I'm excited for with that show is because they've introduced the character of Wally West.
Okay.
And like he did at one point during the last season, kind of get blasted with like a replica of what essentially turned Barry into the Flash. Like, they tried to recreate the experiment to give the Flash back his powers because they get taken. And he does get, like, blasted by a wave of it. He gets, like, knocked unconscious, and they manage to revive him kind of thing. But, like, I'm wondering if they're going to make him Flash. Like, if they're going to make him another version of the Wally West version of the Flash. How fucking cool would that be, man?
I've got to catch up. I still have not watched any of them. Dude. Are they on Netflix? I know Arrow is, isn't it?
It was. Or at least Arrow was. I'm not sure. I mean, you can always find it.
I'll have to look it up.
But the other thing for TV, in a quick note, was that they cast Superman for Supergirl, which has been, I think, one of the biggest complaints fans of that show has had for like the last little while was the fact that
you can't really have Supergirl without Superman.
I mean, you can, but it
for
was
only
one of those
so long.
things that like in the show he would interact with her, but it'd always be like via text message or via email, and you're like, okay, come on, just. And like it would be like, what's his name, Jimmy Olsen, who's like a character on the show, would be like, hey, I just saw Superman like off screen and stuff, and he said that you're
that's doing some polka dot pajamas bullshit.
You're doing a great job here and stuff, and it's like, fuck off, come on, just show Superman. And the guy that they have,
thank God Superman saved us. Did you see him? No, yeah, okay,
he was just here. Like I swear to God, like 2 seconds ago. 2 seconds ago, you missed it. The guy they have playing him, though, is the actor's name is Tyler Hoechlin, or Hoechlin? I can't remember how you pronounce his name. I think it's Hoechlin. He was on Teen Wolf. If anyone is familiar with that, I doubt it. But he's a cool actor. I like his stuff. He's really cool. It's an interesting pick for the character, and we'll see where that goes. Moving along. Oh, yeah. I want to just say this one real quick because it sounds awesome. Bryan Cranston
as Zordon.
He's just playing Zordon in the fucking Power Rangers movie. I'm actually like totally stoked for this.
You know why they did that?
Just for the name?
Just so people come to watch the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because it's Bryan Cranston as Zordon.
I mean, I'm kind of stoked to see what they do with these.
I hope he sounds like Walter White, and he's just like, all right, Power Rangers.
Say my goddamn name.
Zordon? Logging on, and like the system starts up or whatever.
Yeah. Just, oh my god, yeah. There's not really much other details other than that, but I mean, yeah. What a cool character, what a cool actor to pick for Zordon.
I'd rather just Bryan Cranston be a Power Ranger, but whatever.
Just old as balls, being with these young kids.
The Crystal Power Ranger, the Blue Crystal Power Ranger,
the Blue Crystal Power Ranger.
Just get a bunch of old people to play Power Rangers. That'd be great. Like older, like 60s actors. Not like from the 60s, but like 60-year-old actors.
Yeah. So the last bit, or the last stuff we're going to talk about, is the last chunk we're going to talk about, is a bunch of Star Wars stuff actually got announced too. I guess they did like a
expose reveal thing.
Yeah, thing. Well, it was an interview, or not an interview, but it was like a thing for, EW, the magazine. Like they always have, like Entertainment Weekly always has like a big cover story. They did the same thing with Civil War. Like a bunch of information always gets revealed when EW does their big thing. So like a bunch of the characters got revealed and like who they are and what their positions are in like the movie, which is cool because like we had seen these actors like they're going to be playing in the movie, but we really had.
And it was one of those cases where we were excited for pretty much every actor.
Yeah,
and like, knew nothing about them.
Cool, yeah. Like, but now we know who a bunch of these actors actually are. So it's actually pretty cool, like knowing like where the storyline's kind of going. I mean, one of the first cool things is that Darth Vader has been officially confirmed for the movie.
Now, what I want to see, and I've said this before, is if they're going to put Darth Vader back in, put him in glory like you've never seen him before. I want to see him storming battlefields, jumping like Battlefront, like just leaping into battle and just nuking stuff. Have you read any
of the new Star Wars comics yet?
No.
The Vader comics are fucking great. They take place essentially during this time frame, and it is that. It's Vader fucking picking up groups of stormtroopers and whipping them. It's like Force Unleashed, you know what I mean? Like, it's him going around being the badass that they always talk about Vader being.
And never show.
And never show because, like, the graphics in the old movie weren't...
There was limitations. What are they going to hook him on wires?
Yeah, exactly. And plus, the guy was in a huge bulky suit. Like, I'm sure nowadays they're going to be able to figure out how to make him look much more badass. But like, if you read the comic books, like there is a lot more scenes of him just cutting through swaths of guys with like a lightsaber and like doing fucking badass shit with the Force. Doing the stuff that you would assume after watching all the stuff that Anakin does, especially if you watch Clone Wars, like.
Yeah.
They're totally badasses. You know what I mean? Like, and it's one of those things that like it doesn't almost link up to how. They portray him and rigid he is in the
he doesn't even look like a threat because Luke Skywalker goes up and just beats him with overhand swings.
the Luke Skywalker overhand smashing. Yes, that is my favorite part of that movie is like all the technique in the world and like nope.
You've been trained as a Sith Lord for most of your life.
It's always funny because in the extended universe in the books and stuff they always talk about how Luke was like a lightsaber master, and it's like all I can picture in my head is like smashing, and I was like, lightsaber master. That's what it takes. Overhand smashes.
Well, the strength comes from being stuck on a desert planet by yourself for so long, so your right hand's a little stronger than your left one.
Oh man, and he is. By the way, he is being voiced by James Earl Jones again, so that's a nice nod. Like, I mean, that's cool to keep the.
There's no reason why not to.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's right there. I mean, obviously, he's like, it's just a good call.
I hope he like does an awkward trying to be a little bit younger voice, and he's, I'm Darth Vader. Oh. Let's go to the bar with our friends.
Yeah. No, but I have good hopes for that character. Like you said,
he'll be so badass.
There's going to be a scene where he's just cutting down rebel soldiers.
Well, remember the scene in episode 3 where Yoda kind of goes nuts, starts flipping around? You remember that? People lost their shit collectively.
That was number 2, right? When he
maybe
fights, it was episode 2 when he fights.
Not when he fights Count Dooku.
Oh, not when he fights.
No, Dooku? There's a scene later in number 3 where he's just flipping around, attacking stuff. And he's with Obi-Wan, I think, on the planet. Oh, as everything's falling apart. Yeah, kind of there. That I remember people even in the scene where he's with the Wookiees and stuff. People like lost their collective shit when they seen him doing that. And if that's just Yoda, imagine Darth Vader, who has more of a.
There is the scene where he fights the Emperor. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
maybe like the Emperor's throwing all those big like. Platforms at him and stuff, and he's like doing fucking flips and shit.
Yeah. I want to see more of that with Vader.
I want that moment with Vader where you're like, okay, we saw Yoda in the original films, and he was old as balls.
I want him to catch a ship, like just pull it down and like send it back.
Yeah, exactly. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
So to talk about some of the newer characters, we found out who Mads Mikkelsen is playing. The guy,
a serial killer.
He's playing. Lo and behold, I mean, he's playing
Hannibal Lecter in space.
No. He is playing Jyn Erso's father. Jyn Erso is the main character, the female lead, and from what they gave us his description, he is a scientist who is being sought after by both the rebels and the Empire. Now, I wonder either A, if he's got to have something to do with the development of the Death Star. I wonder if
he builds those ports that they can drop the bomb through.
I just put them in there for reasons.
That would be amazing if that turns out.
I have a feeling. That'd be so good.
Like he put him in deliberately in case he's like, you know what? I don't want to be a bad guy. Guys, just blow it up through I put a port there.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I have a feeling he was probably the guy that designed the Death Star.
The original Death Star, yeah.
And he's probably the person that they're going to find the plans from. Like, he's probably going to be like, well, I built the thing, so here you go. Or like she's going to sneak onto the ship and meet her and see her father there. And there's going to be a scene where like she is trying to convince him to give her the plans.
There will probably be a business deal between him and the
Empire.
The Empire.
Yeah.
Something. He'll be like sitting down and they'll have to negotiate with them, and he's bullshitting them for a certain period of time to let other people. I don't know. Yeah. They'll do a whole espionage.
Who knows? I mean, like I said, and he's a cool actor. So I mean, he's gonna play whatever he plays is gonna be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm excited to see where that kind of character fits into the storyline. Ben Mendelsohn is up next, and he's the kind of older gentleman in the trailers that we saw so far. He's the guy that kind of looks like, from what I saw, he looked like Grand Moff Tarkin. Mm-hmm. And that's who I thought he was at the beginning. I thought he was either Tarkin or he was another Grand Moff like character or a general character. But it turns out the character's name is Director Krennic. And from what they gave us as description, he's almost like the director title apparently has been in some of the books that have been released since the new novels have been released, where it's like these are the official Star Wars
lore
stuff now. Yeah. And apparently the director title is given to members of like the secret police, kind of like
the Gestapo.
Yeah, like almost like the Gestapo. Yeah, like it sounds like that. Like what was the name of it? I forget the name that they gave his, like, the black stormtroopers. They were like called like Death Troopers or something like that. I think it's something menacing sounding like that, where it's like I think they're literally going to be his secret police. And it sounded like also that he's all like he's also like the true bad guy, where he like they said there's a lot of like inner fighting in the Empire and of him, and like it's a lot of him like fucking shit. What's that show called on Netflix with Kevin Spacey?
Oh, House of Cards bullshit?
It's going to be like House of Cards bullshit on Star Wars. You know what I mean? That's what I picture in my head.
He's like playing mind games with everybody.
He's like, picture him like being like a politician / like, super
going behind people's back. Yeah.
Like doing evil shit on both sides, where he's like, fuck the rebels and fuck this guy because he's in my way from becoming like the top. Like, it sounds like he's going to play a pretty cool character. So he looks badass. He does.
I saw the trailer and I'm like, I want to know who that guy is.
Yeah, exactly. He was one of the ones that you're immediately like, who's that guy going to be? Yeah. That guy's going to play a fucking cool character. This character actually has me really excited because like I didn't realize who he was until I read the description on him. So Forrest Whitaker's character is a character his name is Saw Gerrera. And
he was on Clone Wars.
He was on Clone Wars. If you're a fan of the animated Clone Wars series, which I was a fucking huge fan of, he was trained by Captain Rex, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, and Anakin Skywalker, essentially to be a rebel against like what would be the Separatists at the time. But then he continues on to being like a rebel against the Empire at the time. So like, and they said like in the description, I like what they talk about because they were saying he's like an extremist rebel. Like even the fucking like Rebel Alliance is kind of like, that guy's really shady. I don't know if we should be dealing with him. So I have a feeling he's going to be like borderline terrorist. Like
the other thing I'm seeing too is if he's been trained by Anakin Skywalker, they're probably going to throw a scene where he fights Darth Vader.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, he'll probably fight him, and you'll see his training pit up against a Sith Lord.
Ah, that's cool. I didn't even think about that. Like, I like the idea of him like bumping into Darth Vader at some point, and like Vader recognizing him and being like, "I trained you."
I almost wonder if he's going to be like he sees him and he doesn't actually fight him.
Because he remembers him?
Or no, he's just like, I don't want to fuck that. That's crazy.
Oh, you mean like if Gerrera sees like Vader and he's like, nope.
No, maybe the other way around.
Oh, okay.
It could be one of those things where like, he's that trained. Like they're like, yeah, don't fuck with Saw.
I trained this motherfucker. You don't want to fuck with him, believe me. No, that'd be an interesting thought, like I said. And like, I love, as just an overall thing, like, every time I like learn more about this movie,
it sounds so much better every time.
It's getting me so much more hype for this movie. Yeah, like I love that these characters sound interesting. Just reading one sentence blurbs on them on the internet, I'm getting even more pumped for it because like it's filling me with like, oh, this character sounds like he's gonna be cool. And like I wonder how he's gonna interact with this character. Like we still don't know who Donnie Yen is playing.
He's just a normal dude. He fixes shoes in a town, and he's the Kung Fu cobbler.
Kung Fu cobbler.
Kung Fu cobbler.
Oh my god! I just like they showed pictures of him, and he's blind now. I didn't realize that when I saw. I swear his eyes weren't white when we saw those original trailers. Were they?
Maybe he becomes blind.
Ooh, that's
maybe he gets electrified or something by Vader. You can't see me.
But like I just like the fact that he's a blind kung fu master. Like they
didn't even think. They're like, we got all these interesting stories everywhere. Donnie Yen wants in. Oh, okay. What should he play? He's gonna be a kung fu guy who's blind.
He's blind. What? He's also a sword.
Okay, master. Is he gonna like use like a lightsaber or something? No, just give him a bow staff. Like nothing
he's
innovative.
Playing he's essentially playing Zatoichi, the legendary swordsman, but in space. So like
he's Ip Man in space.
Yeah, like I like they're attacking his village. They're trying to invade, and he's just not having any of it. And he's gonna hold a tournament. And he's gonna fight stormtroopers one-on-one.
What I'm hoping is that the whole movie has actual like proper physics and like good CGI. And when he gets to the fight scenes with him, it's just string fighting, jumping on swords and lightsabers, and like doing
he's dancing on fucking laser bolts as he's running and shit.
They're just like, kicking them in the head like over and over again.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Yeah, like I said, I am very excited to kind of like piece together and see. I'm waiting for another trailer. I'm waiting for the next trailer to drop for this movie because it'll probably drop around. When's Comic-Con? Isn't it soon?
Should be.
It hasn't happened yet, right?
Isn't it usually in August?
It's like in summer at some point, yeah. So I don't think it's happened.
I think it's in August.
But like, I can't wait for Comic-Con because Comic-Con's always that time of year where it's like, here's a couple like teasers.
You're gonna learn everything.
You're gonna learn a whole bunch of shit about movies, like. Yeah, I can't wait to see what gets. That's gonna be a big week. I can't wait for that. Actually,
it's gonna be excited. A big movie.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like the more and more I see, because I thought it was a good idea on paper. Like the moment they announced it.
Yep, fair enough.
Man. Just take a moment of silence to just think about how awesome this movie is gonna be.
How great it's gonna be. Just fucking.
Is that it? Is that all we got?
I think so, unless there's anything else that you can...
muster out of my asshole?
Yeah, just...
How much bullshit I can get out?
No, I think that pretty much covers... There
hasn't been much. That's some news.
That's the thing, is like, I'm surprised we got this much out this week, because like, I was flipping through everything and was kind of like, there's not a whole lot
quick little Timbit that kind of sucked.
Say Timbit?
Quick little Timbit. That's such a Canadian thing to say.
We're going to Tim's, eh?
A quick little tidbit. Destiny's Iron Banner was down this week, which was friggin' bullshit. I was all hyped. I was like, Toby, I'm gonna teach you how to play. We're gonna do some Iron Banner. We're gonna have some fun, get some challenges done, get you some gear. And he's like, well, like rate it like 1 o'clock. I'm like, let's play this. And it's like, no, it's not. No.
Nah, B.
Have fun.
On another, well, yeah, just to talk about that, like, I mean, the Rise of Iron stuff is it's shaping up to be really cool.
The hype is real.
The hype is very real. I mean,
and it's fun.
We talk about Destiny a lot on this show, I know, but like,
if you made it this far, you're gonna. I mean,
hell yeah, if you've made it this far, you know what we're talking about in this show. Like even today, like I came over today just to hang out and stuff like that, and like I kind of assumed we'd play Overwatch, but like I saw you and Toby play Destiny for that like half an hour or something.
And you're like, can we just set it up?
Can we just play Destiny? Like I was just like, oh, I got the itch again. Like,
yeah,
it is true.
It is. It's an itch. It's an itch only that game can satisfy.
It really is.
And it was nice in putting into perspective, Toby being a player who played maybe like a month of vanilla Destiny.
Oh wow!
And got off and was dissatisfied with the game because he had every right to be.
Yeah.
Came back and Taken King, and I kind of pushed him to see it all. He totally was like, you know what? Like I'm pissed off how good the game became.
Yeah, because he wasn't there to like...
Because he wasn't there to experience, but he was also there for year one. Like, year one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insulting that they fixed it, and it's like a double-edged sword kind of thing.
It is and it isn't. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I've heard people that played WoW discuss, like, vanilla Warcraft compared to what it is nowadays. Even, like, different iterations of Warcraft. Like, when Burning Crusade came out and, like, you know, fucking Cataclysm and or Wrath of the Lich King and shit like that. Like, I mean... From what I've heard, like the original version of this game and like even what it became and what it is now is very different things. They are very different things. And
there's still vanilla servers you can log on.
And that's funny too, yeah. But like Destiny is the exact same way. Destiny is one of those games where like if you played it at day one and you remember what the fucking like
it's a total different experience.
It's a totally different game. Very, very different feel. Much less bullshit kind of like, there's still grind to it because it's an MMO. Like, the MMO is all about the grind.
Stupid grind. It was like, I got a purple. What's it going to be? It's a blue. And that was the first, like, couple months.
I remember the broken loot system from before.
Yeah,
where it'd be like, I had a purple. Oh, it turned into a blue.
Now we have like tons of dances. We have 3 raids. We have all this chroma glow gear.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny because we're at a state now where Taken King is so good. Yeah. Like, you know what? It's a perfect game now. To add in a new DLC after that,
it's gonna be great.
That is themed on Iron Banner. So like knights in armor.
Yeah, the suits they've showed so far for the classes that are coming out look fucking
With
great.
a raid, you fight Fallen.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah, because I guess that's the only thing we haven't done yet, eh? Well, I guess there is no raid for... Because there's a raid for the Vex.
Yep, Vex, Crota, and Taken. So there's Vex, Hiving, Taken.
That's right. There was Hive and then Taken, but they
so we need Cabal and Fallen.
That's another thing too. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Cabal raid yet.
I wonder if they're waiting. Like that might be a Destiny Year 2 thing,
or it might be the last DLC they put out. They might just round it out.
Well, this is the last DLC, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess you're right. Yeah.
There'll be some free summer updates in next summer, but I think this update's supposed to last us, and I hope there's speculation out there right now that they're going to update the raids in this expansion. They're just not going to tell anybody, or it's going to be a free update.
Yeah.
Down the road. I think that'd be amazing. Is they let us go off the high of this DLC until like January, February.
Yeah.
And then just re-release the old raids and have them useful. And then Destiny 2 is coming out next year. So
yeah, that'd be interesting to see if they actually do, because like that's the thing is they haven't announced Destiny 2 yet. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they have, but they haven't announced anything about it.
No, that's what I mean. Like, so like, I wonder when the window's gonna be for that. I mean, it's supposed to be next year. We everyone assumes it's gonna be next year, but I wonder if it actually is going to be. And I wonder, like you said, if this DLC is. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be as good as it fucking seems. Like, you know what I mean? It just looks like it's gonna be fucking great.
And to be fair, Destiny has never made a bad DLC. They've had some lacking stuff with Crota, I think, but I was satisfied with House of Wolves. I thought that was fair. I was really satisfied with Taken King.
Even though House of Wolves, like people were initially kind of pissed off because there was no raid with House of Wolves. I mean, I was really excited about
Prison of Elders. Prison of
Elders, yeah, Prison of Elders is a blast, and the new stuff that they've added with Prison of Elders, like the whole challenge mode with the last DLC update, that's a really good idea. Like you and I have had a lot of fun just fucking around on Challenge of Elders and stuff.
Even Bungie discussed, like they're like, hey, when we started, we were learning, like we didn't know. And they're at the point with that update, like they revitalized the whole community, which most developers can't do. They pulled everybody back into Destiny with that. Because I remember when I saw that come out, and they're like, you can reach max rank through anything. You don't have to raid anymore because you can't rely on your friends. Because let's face it, half your friends are useless. Like that, or you can never get anybody online at the same time. So you got to play with randoms, and randoms are bad. Someone's not communicating. You keep telling them the same thing. Nobody knows how the clock works. That's the other problem with Destiny raid mechanics, is that they're just too difficult for stupid people.
Yeah.
So you're trying to explain it to them and they don't get it, all that stuff. And then they're like, yeah, you know what? Just play with your 2 like good friends. Maybe even just 1, because Challenge of Elders only really needs 1 person, and you can reach max rank.
I can't believe you and I, like, I love that the fact that like the high score thing is 30,000 and then the weekly score is 90, and you and I were averaging about 50,000 points around with Chevy there with us.
Yeah.
But that was hilarious. I couldn't believe that we were racking up that many points. I'd never seen it go that. Like, even when we were playing before, the last time when we did like the challenges, it just was never this easy. You know, or not this easy, but like we had a really easy time racking up all the points on that. Anyway,
I think I got one last point.
Okay.
I really enjoyed 21 Pilots' new song for
I wasn't
Suicide
sure if
Squad.
You want to talk about this or not? I had never really listened to 21. He just kind of recently.
I've always liked them, and I liked them when their latest album, Blurry Face, came out. Like last year, pretty much, which they're only getting famous in the past few months. Like wide view on radio play and stuff like that. They've been big for a while.
What's the song? Is it the other song just called Good Old Days, or what's the name of that one?
They're Stressed Out.
That's the song.
Stressed Out. Yeah.
See, like, and it's funny that like when you're like, oh, like, do you ever listen to 21 Pilots? I was like, no, never really listened to any of their stuff. And then you played me that song. I was like, oh, this is them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I've heard the song a million times. Like, and you're right. Like, as soon as you played me off like a few of those songs, and the song from Suicide Squad is dope. What's it called? Heathen?
Yeah, Heathen.
Heathen's an awesome song. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out, because it's a really catchy tune, and like we listened
respectably
to it,
catchy.
Yeah, and it's very very cool. I feel like it probably fits the movie pretty well too.
Yeah.
It's
probably
cool.
going to be played in the movie at some point. I hope.
Probably. Yeah.
I hope.
But yeah, like I said, I'm excited for that. Man, I can't wait for that movie to come out. That's kind of probably, I think, the next movie. No, I guess Star Trek is the next movie that I'm really stoked for. But then that one's like right after it. It's like a week after, I think. Or like maybe 2.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek, I think, is at the end of July. And then we've got that one. Like
I'm seeing a concert in August. That's coming up soon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Seeing Disturbed. Ooh.
Nice.
Anyways, I think that's been a good episode.
It's been a good episode. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.
See you later.